This episode of Pilots is filmed on location with the men and women of law enforcement. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
Welcome to Pilots Watching Pilots, the show where we watch pilots of your favorite TV shows. Mike, what's on itinerary today?
Cops, obviously. We're watching Cops. March 11th, 1989. First started. It's been on for 31 seasons, over 1,000 episodes.
That's insane.
You've watched Cops before. I've watched Cops before. We grew up on Cops. This was one of my favorite shows, but I don't remember the pilot. Do you?
I have never.
All right. Well, let's get into it.
It starts with Detective Nick Navarro. So he's 60 years old. I think that's what we figured out.
Yeah, we did the math afterwards. He's 60 years old this time. What a loose cannon. This old guy is sprinting faster.
He's a lunatic.
Faster than I can sprint. Right away.
A crack house.
A crack house.
Like, what are you doing? You're too old to be doing this.
Here's one thing I noticed real quick. Have you... They show in movies and a lot of things, you always see a crack house. A lot of times they show you what a crack house is. This was an actual... I don't think I've ever seen an actual crack house before. This was more depraved than they show you in the movies. You can't, like, on a movie set, they show you, oh, this is a dirty crack house. No, this was filthy. This was next level. And they're just filming it. That disgusted me. I don't know if you knew what a crack house was.
Well, it just so happened it looked like my neighbor's house.
Okay.
Growing up. But you're right. From the outside, it just looks like a normal house. Inside, they've got coves. They got weird bedrooms underneath couches. I don't know how that works. I saw a lot of weird things today.
Yeah. On to the third act.
Yeah, the third part, it was about this... What would you call him? He was the
captain.
He was the captain
of a drug enforcement.
Drug enforcement, narcotics, or
yeah, I don't know.
He just really loved busting people.
Oh yeah.
His team actually would go into the airports and tell people, "Hey, you! I need to see your packaging." And packaging, I mean. Do you remember that?
Yeah, she grabbed a guy's full dick.
We got it.
Are you a cop?
No.
At one point, and she just squeezed it and then looked up at the camera like, you see what I'm doing? And I was like, I see what you're doing. And then everyone was just cool with it.
Yeah, I call it rape, you call it
to be fair, the guy did have drugs on him and a gun, unlicensed, so, and
a big dick.
He was packing for sure. But I couldn't believe her going up to people in the airport, fine. This is before the TSA, before 9/11. I get a lot of that stuff.
Scanners.
Yeah, they weren't scanning people. That was fine. So I get going up to people. And then she actually followed procedure and would hold people until they got a search warrant. They'd call a judge. The judge would produce a search warrant right away. That was the fastest thing I've ever seen.
Well, it was sped up. It was 1980s. They didn't have cell phones then.
Yeah, it went through fast. And that part made sense to me. That was the only part of this entire show that made sense. Everything else was bonkers. Getting back to the narcotics captain, he decides for his big plan of this giant sting where they're going to take down the entire city's worth of drug houses. They're going to board them all up, tow every car that's abandoned, bust every perp on the streets, and they get the whole team involved. We've got Nick Navarro, Gung Ho Cop number 2, Gung Ho Cop number 3's B, whatever. Everyone that we've seen in this episode, they all get together at the end, which I thought was a great move of editing in this. I thought it was fun. And we got the whole gang together for this giant bust. And on their way to the bust for this giant sting, they're driving down the highway in a van. The cops open the door of the van. They're pointing the gun out with a flashlight, just practicing holding a gun out as they're just driving down. I mean, the stuff you get away with in the 80s, you just can't do that anymore.
No, not at all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to call a stewardess. We need another drink. All right, folks. Well, today we're going to do Margaritaville's Gold Tequila. Woo, can't wait. And when we're done, I got a really fun fact for you.
All right, it's your turn for a fun fact today. I can't wait. Cheers.
Cheers. I don't like it.
Yep, that's what I thought it was going to be.
That reminds me of 1989. Alright folks, like promised, I got a fun fact. Mike, did you know that they actually made a Hollywood movie based off of this?
No, I didn't know that.
It's called Bad Boys, right? It's starting Martin Lawrence and that guy off that Fresh Prince guy.
Yeah, that is. They're working actually on a Hollywood movie. They've been working on a Hollywood movie for years about this. You're talking about everyone's favorite theme song, "Bad Boys." That's not has anything to do with this. That's not a live action.
They're cops.
All right, pick up those drinks. Put those tray tables in the upright position because Ryan, it's time to land that bird. Tell us about our recommendations here. What do you think?
I highly, highly, highly recommend this. Honestly, I would rather be watching that right now than shooting this video. It was absolutely fantastic. It's going to be a little aged at the beginning, but there's 31 seasons.
Yeah, it's been
Or is it
going on
31 episodes.
31 seasons. There's
That makes
over
more
1,000 episodes.
That makes more sense. Highly recommend it. Fantastic. As you go on, it's going to get less corny.
Yeah, some serious stuff happens throughout the history of the show. I mean, while trying to do some research, I didn't know a lot of stuff. A lot of people have died in this show. Suspects, police officers. There's been a lot of weird, tragic things that actually happen in the show. It's definitely, if nothing else, worth watching this pilot. It doesn't age well with time. It is so insane. Your mind is going to be blown as to this is America in, I guess, Broward County, Florida in 1989. But wow, what a time to be alive. This was nuts.
And if there's anything to take away from this video, there's one thing. Thank God you don't get a speeding ticket and the boys got nunchucks. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Mike, any final thoughts?
Yeah. Follow us on social media. What are you doing? We're going to talk about next week's episode all over, and you can watch it before we watch it. And then when you watch us watch it, it'll make sense.
Pilots watching pilots.